All right, guys. So it's been a month since Red Bull London happened, and I'm sorry it's been a month since I've done this roundup, but I just was really busy and a bit burnout, and I had some personal stuff I was dealing with, and then a month passed. So I just wanted to sit down, talk through it, talk about my experiences, but also like share some behind the scenes stuff on the ongoings and how it all played out and how epic it was. So I'm going to try and do that, and we're going to start with the first venue. And here's just a clip from the first day. This setup was already amazing. Live viewers on Twitch who are watching this with me, would you agree? This was like the worst setup we had for this event. Was already incredible. And having been to other LAN events, usually the first day also has a lot of technical difficulties. And so I was really worried about that. The thing that's crazy is it was a 3-venue event. And something that I don't think a lot of people realized is the majority of the tech and the production and the internet and everything that was broadcasting this stream was 90 minutes away from the site. They were in a massive truck, like a big, multiple trucks with all this stuff 90 minutes away. The voices in my ear when I'm casting, everyone I'm talking through, 90 minutes away. I don't really fully understand why. The technical side of that, but that's what it was. So for the first 2 venues, we weren't even like with the observer and the tech team and all that stuff. For the final day for Royal Albert Hall, they brought everything in. But yeah, the technical side of that is beyond me and is really, really cool. But yeah, I thought the venue was nice. From what you guys could see, it was really cool. See if I can find some in between game stuff where they could just show the venues and whatnot. And yep, there I am. They put me in a red coat, which apparently was intentional. Our very Australian production guy was like, "Yeah, that was me, mate. That was all me, mate," with a big grin on his face. So shout out to Rob for that. Putting the only American in the red coat. I had no say in this. So initially I wasn't very happy about it, but it kind of grew on me a little bit. Being a trader felt better and better as time went on. And obviously it was a good meme and it was good fun. But yeah, it was a pretty cool setup. So here you can kind of see, this is our main area. I can actually show you guys a couple photos from this day to give you a breakdown of what it looked like maybe behind the scenes. But for overall, for the first venue, I'll keep it short, was really, really cool. All right, so yeah, here's a couple of like behind the scenes photos from this venue. Here's us all looking super, 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 super badass in our costumes. And I'd like to add another super in there because I really like this photo. I think everyone's just absolutely killing it here. Here's a little photo of Dave and MBL hanging out the day we got there behind the scenes. So that was cool. I don't think they know I have this photo, but I do. And I love that photo. There's a photo of me, which I don't really care about. There's Dave and I cast, and they took some really good photos, some really good shots, which is obviously great as far as like memories and stuff go for us. There's me very excited about something very serious if you look at the look of Dave's face. So different people cast differently. When Nilly and I cast together, our hands are going everywhere, and you guys never really get to see it, but we're like very gestury, and we're like pointing at stuff, and so it kind of looks a little suggestive. I didn't realize that until Twitch chat was here. Whoops. But no, I'm just, casting the game. There were a couple memes made. Thank you again, Rob. There were a couple memes made. There's also my look. I think this is the look on my face when I first was wearing the red coat, which I'm like half proud of because that's funny, but also the other half, that's just me being me. Here, this is hilarious. The best meme of the first couple days was the sexy Age of Empires calendar because Dave and I made a comment there. Here's Jamie and I at, I think, the next venue, so maybe getting ahead of myself here. But this was the first photo that I sent her before she got to London when I wore my costume. There you go. So that's what she got to see. She's like, "How's your costume?" And that's what I sent her. I thought you guys would appreciate that. Also, she always takes under chin selfies when I'm not expecting it. So there was one of those at that venue. And as for other behind the scenes things, this is what this setup looked like, right? So you had, just that area of the room sectioned off. Obviously, the cameras and everything are over here on the left side, and to show you what you broadcast. Kind of where I was taking the photo from was the dressing area and the area where we would just like kind of chill. To the right was a coffee bar where we could get coffee at any time, which was awesome, but also kind of conflicting because I was like, should I be drinking Red Bulls or this coffee? This doorway here, this is where the players had a training area, and then the room right beyond that was the casting area. So that was kind of the setup for this venue, which I thought was incredible. Here's, well, not really a different angle. This is the guy that put me in the red coat. And yeah, so then we moved on to another venue. Guys, we get there, and like outside of this amazing theater, so this is for the weekend, which had 800 live viewers. I mean, seeing these logos up everywhere was so badass. Like, you could see this forever away. Look at this, dude. And I don't think they really put this on any of the broadcasts or anything. There's me. This is super early. We had to go into test. Look how badass this was. And later on, like, this whole square is just filled with people. It's a very busy area. So I'm sure, like, thousands of people walked by, had no clue this event was happening or what it was, but they would see that logo and see Red Bull and see Age of Empires. So we got there early. Here's just like some of the setup stuff. So we get there early. They had to bring all the equipment from the first day into here, right? To get like everything set up. I was concerned there would be tech issues. Thankfully, there weren't many big ones. So I just have a couple photos of what it all looked like kind of in the morning. This is where people would sit eventually for the weekends. I also have some funny ones in here. So here's everybody getting ready. Nilly was flossing. Is that what that's called? Hold on, I have a video of this. Nilly might hate me for showing you. Why will not go forward? Hold on, wait for it. Here we go. Send it, Nilly. Yeah. There's Nilly. That was fun. That was maybe my favorite moment of the whole event. And then this is kind of what it looked like from the upper area when we were looking down throughout the event. So yeah, it was kind of cool to just hang. I mean, it was more than kind of cool. This has already broken some big records. I think this is a photo of me behind the scenes. It was weird because our behind the scenes area, our like safety spot was in that glass bubble. So like, people were looking at me. I'm like, oh my God, everyone recognizes me and wants a photo with me. I need 5 minutes. I go in there, I sit down, and then there's people outside who are all like, ah! So at this venue, I kind of felt like I was like a zoo animal because I felt like I didn't have a lot of safe space and everyone was staring at me, which again is really cool to have fans. It was just weird not to have a safe space. Here's another shot of the outside. How sick is that? Bro, so sick. Anyways, we got some photos with fans. These guys, apparently the day before had a shirt that made fun of me saying fishing ships, and it was fish and chips. They got the 3 archer ranges on the island and a weird fake mustache on me, and we took a photo with this flag. So that was one of many photos I took with fans. Here, this is 4 of my mods. And one of which gave me a how to learn German mini manual book, which I will put to great use. Thank you very much. They know I suck at German, and they thought that was very, 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 very funny. Thank you, Sunnyflower. Here's at certain points to try and line up and like meet fans and such. So here's just like a couple action shots of that. And there's again my soon-to-be wife as I'm very exhausted at the end of that venue. And here's me outside signing some stuff. Anyone I sign for ever or have signed for, my handwriting's just awful, and I'm very sorry. But yeah, it was super cool. Like, this is what I mean about people outside. Like, this place was packed, dude. People were ready to get in there. Okay. Then we move into the Royal Albert Hall. Honestly, should I show some? I gotta show some of the Royal Albert Hall footage for this part. Hold on. We gotta pull that up. So obviously this built up for the Royal Albert Hall, right? And again, imagine at other events, you have time, as this is the epic sea shanty video they made, which is just so over the top. It's so epic. You get used to the venue. And so there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of nerves. What helps you with that is multiple days where you're used to it. Here, it's day one of this new venue, and we're going to have 3,000 people. So, and also we had to do all our testing in the morning and everything too. So it was a lot for me, man. I was really concerned, and I was nervous, and you know, all those emotions. Here's just some of the intro. I mean, it was so freaking epic, man. We had the freaking London choir there. The intros were over the top. We had the crowd doing the wave. This is some of the AOE4 stuff, of course. But I wanted to show you, before we get like too into some of this, I wanted to show you a couple like the setup photos and behind the scenes things that we did at the morning of. We get there morning of, right? Imagine stepping into this and being like, oh yeah, you're gonna be a part of this. Like this is what it looked like at the morning. We had to get there to test tech stuff and everything, but like I'm standing in there like losing my mind. And it just, you know, terrified. Now, before we get to the terrified aspect, I need to tell you something. So, where I live is very humid and warm, and so my skin is used to that, right? And in London, it was very like dry and it was colder, at least than what I'm used to. And also every day at these events, they're putting like makeup stuff on you, and then they take it off you, and my skin's not used to that, right? So my skin, which is very sensitive, was having some problems, and I was really dry and uncomfortable. And I normally, because I know my skin, I don't put stuff on it that I haven't tried before because, you know, that's risky. But I didn't have anything because I'm an idiot, and so I used some of my the moisturizer from my fiance the night before this event. I woke up, my face was red, like a tomato, and everything hurt. I'm here, my face is as red as the chairs, and my face is in pain because I had like a reaction to whatever this was, and I'm about to go on Royal Albert Hall. So I walk in here, and I'm losing my mind. I'm really scared because it was really, really bad. And so here's a photo of me. You can kind of see it got better. You can see my face is red, right? You see what I mean? Like it's not what it should be. And I'm sitting there like, what's about to happen? Like I was really nervous for a lot of different reasons. So this is actually a pretty epic photo of me just like kind of like soaking it in, like what's about to happen. But that is the look of a man who is very, 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 very worried, because everyone expects a good cast and, you know, is showing up for a show, and I'm about to cast here. So, yeah, that was part of the early stuff. I posted this somewhere. We don't need to see this. Here is what the view was like when we were, from where we were casting, roughly speaking. And, damn it, why is this stuff not showing? Oh, okay. So I was nervous at this point, and we're testing. I'm so proud of this. Chat, even if you don't think this is funny, please laugh. So I'm already nervous at this point because they're testing our audio and I'm hearing it through this whole massive thing, right? And obviously I need to make a joke. Don't laugh yet! Punchline hasn't happened yet. So basically I was nervous, and I have to make a joke because, you know, that's the way I deal with my anxiety. And so this is what I did. So there's like people down there setting stuff up, right? And listen.
I have a couple people looking up at me. Never mind, I'm nervous.
Don't worry, I mean, our mics are being piped through this entire
Yeah, seriously. Look at that guy. That guy's so weird.
Sorry,
That guy right there. That guy. That one. Yeah. See, they all think it's them now.
So it was really satisfying. There's only like 20 people down there. They're all dudes, and they're all setting stuff up. And I'm like, yo, that guy's so weird. And the first time I said it, no one did. And I kept saying it, and everyone's like, so good. Anyways, I'm really proud of that. I don't know if that's actually funny now because you guys are fake laughing. Here's some more shots, which are not loading. No, they're not loading. Okay, there, Dave and I were looking at a really funny meme. Photo's still not loading, which is great. Photo's still not loading, which is great. Here's what the upper view looked like. This is during some of the AoE 4. And here's, I think this is where my fiance sat. It's kind of a blurry image, of course, but you know, there I am. Hi, Mom. I'm up there on screen, and this place is just so sick at this point. So sick. So, yeah, I think we'll move into some of the event stuff here. Let me just switch back over to this to get the video up. Yeah, this was incredible. So, as we watch this player intro, so I'm like losing my mind. I'm really nervous. And we were sitting up there by the AoE forecasting desk for a while, and I was trying to like get into it and get ready. And I was telling myself to like not freak out, basically. And then we had to sit there through the opening ceremony and through the music and through all this epic stuff. And like the amount of chills and amazing emotions that I felt, which would have probably thrown me off if I was immediately on camera, was just so damn high. So I would have been like up there at some point. I'm really happy. Like normally I think waiting for so long would be a problem for me, but I'm actually really happy that we had so many epic things because I could sit there and enjoy the crowds and enjoy this.
If you have one or two of those,
well, actually wrong timing, but just kind of get into it and soak it in before I had to focus on the cast. The live draft was all right. I actually think maybe the weakest part of the whole event was the live draft. It was very confusing. It was cool to have the players up there, but I think the way that it flowed together compared to the rest of the event probably could have been a little bit better, in my opinion. But yeah, you know, just to kind of summarize the finals, and at one point, there's Nilly and Mem, which I thought was so cool. The analysis and their costumes and everything. To summarize the finals, this isn't going to be like a full finals breakdown. This is more so talking about my experiences. Amazing games, but I said in the cast that until I saw Leary win on some different types of maps, I wasn't going to count Hera out at all. And I believe my words said that even when Leary was up 3-0. Because if you look at the maps, there's 3 really, really aggressive maps. That's what was played the first 3 games. All the other maps are bigger bigger events. They're bigger maps where there's less pressure initially, with the exception of maybe Rampart, which ended up being like one of the best games. So it was really cool. Here's a little bit of a fun fact. So typically, so for all these events, there's a way for me to speak to production. So if I'm like, yo, production, I got to take a dump, which we just can't. I never say that. But production, hi, you look nice. If I want to say anything to production, I can do that with a button, okay? So typically it's like, hey, I'm like sweating, and they typically would come in and they would top you up with makeup multiple times, or I need water, or I need a Red Bull. I finished my water and my Red Bull after the first game. And I was like, hey, production, I need water. They couldn't hear us. And no one ever came up. So for the like 4.5 hours, 5 hours we were casting, my throat was just dying. And I was struggling. I had no Red Bull. I had no water because they just thought we were fine. And this is the other downside for me is there are only ever 2 photos of us up there from their photographer, which, considering the amount of photos we had in the other aspects of the venue, makes me a little bummed because, like, I would have loved to have a few more photos of the event from, like, professional photographer. Ultimately, those are, like, the biggest downsides, but it just happens. Someone says, why not just ask for water, lol? Okay, I'm going to say this again, in case you didn't hear what I said. They couldn't hear me. I'm in a booth with no people. My way of communicating was not working and they didn't realize. So yeah, I tried. I tried a million times. But yeah, I was really worried about what the cast was going to be like when it was all said and done. We'll switch to here. I don't think you guys realize it, but like I go into it and I'm nervous. I think there's an expectation that I put on a good cast, and oftentimes you guys will say that I do a good cast, and that I am doing something well, and I don't think I am. I think that I need to be better. I have really high expectations for what I bring to the show. And when you're casting the same game over 10 plus years, there's always that fear that like someone's going to get tired of you, or you can't reuse the same way of casting. You have to keep things fresh. There's a lot of worry, right? So I didn't want my worst cast to be in the Royal Albert Hall. And this feeling for lands has been, it really was heavy like 2.5 years ago. And I then changed my approach, and I was just like, I can find another level at lands. And it became my goal to find a better level at a LAN event than in person. Not that I'm like selling myself short or not in person. I mean like on a stream. I just needed to find another level. So I would prepare more. I would prep more. I just have to lock in. I don't know. There's just not much more to it. And I was so concerned, and I'm honestly just going to say this might come off a little bit too egotistical. I thought I killed it. I thought Dave killed it. I thought we put on an excellent cast. I'm so proud. Like, so proud. The moments where I needed to give Dave his space for some epic moments, it was given. Same in reverse. We both, like, flowed so well. There were key points in the game that needed to be addressed that were addressed perfectly. Like, I actually think it was one of our best casts ever. And on top of that, I've been really kind of disappointed because there's always that part of me that really wants to be a pro, right? I'm 2K5, I'm like top 100, but I'm destined to always just be a freaking caster who loses to these guys. And I've been bummed because, like, I have the knowledge, but I don't have the speed and I don't have the youth and all that shit, right? And this, and the LAN previous to this, afterwards, I left feeling like, Tristan, this is why you play high level, because I actually feel like my level shows, right? That I'm not just some high level player who happens to also talk. It's like I'm a caster who understands high level, who can break it down. And so I'm just very proud. I'm just going to leave that at that, because like I told this to Jamie, my partner, and she was like, Tristan, you need to tell people this, because you make it, like people just assume that you just do it like it's natural and that you're not worried and that like they don't know. So I just wanted to voice that. And again, Dave, I'm very proud of both of us. Like Dave and I killed it. He is so damn good. We fit so well together, and we continue to find another level. I'm very proud. It's not easy to do. I'm very, very proud. Considering we had no water and no Red Bulls, which really sucked. Also very proud because, like, again, my throat was gone. So yeah, and that's, I didn't talk a lot about the finals, but that's not what this was going to be. I wanted to just share my experience and everything. And I didn't get a chance to do that with you guys. It was an incredible final. I do have a fun fact for you. So we had a finite period of time we were allowed in this venue. The reason that this final was on a Monday was because it was the only open day in like 2.5 years in Royal Albert Hall. I thought it was a cost thing. Like, oh, Mondays are cheaper than Sundays. No. It's because it was the only day available. AoE4 final went long. The intro was long and all of that, right? If Leary won this game, we were getting kicked out, and they had a failsafe in place. They would have done a 10-minute time limit. It might have been 15. 10 or 15-minute time limit for the final game because we had to leave legally. So if Leary wins this, we literally 15-minute timer. They would have also split the prize pool 50-50, so the final game would have been for no money difference. It would have just been for whoever wins the final, and no trophy ceremony because they had no choice. I did not know this because they could not communicate shit to me, as I explained, but I found out afterwards. So, like, this could have been bad. Like, obviously, for, like, Leary fans and for Leary, this result maybe was already bad, but that would have been horrible. So, yeah, I don't know if that's public info, but it is public info now. it went to the final second. To the point where when I was like, there were fans like at the stage, like T90, T90, like people waited, and I really wanted to like go sign and stuff. Plus, I felt kind of badass because I was up on stage and people were down below. Anyways, I couldn't. Like the security people got really, really stern with me when I signed one thing, and they were like, no. And like there were 50 people there ready to pack up everything and then ready to get ready for the next show the next day. So, yeah. And yeah, that's basically it. Obviously, at the end, it was an incredible final. Hera had a great comeback. I think eventually I don't know what they showed at this point because I'm not seeing what's on screen. I don't know is this just summing up the day. I thought maybe they had shown us all as a talent on screen at some point, but I just can't find it. But it was an experience of a lifetime. And I'm beyond proud. Yep, I'm beyond proud of the team. I think everyone did a really good job. I can just speak on behalf of talent that like everyone's really concerned that they're gonna have a crap day. And I thought everyone on the team. I know I talked about Dave and I for the cast, but I thought Mem, Nilly, Riley, Zoe. I thought everyone did incredible. Like true professionals. Whatever someone's normal level was at, I thought people performed above it, which was awesome. So yeah, I'll open it up to some questions. If people have some questions, what do we leave up during the questions? Maybe we can just show this if Chad has some questions, but I really appreciate you guys. One final thing before the questions. Part of the reason I didn't want to sum this up, or the reason it took me a month, is because I was really emotional because I wanted my grandmother to witness this. And she passed like a couple months ago. It was during TTL and it was before Red Bull. And so the reason I felt off is because this has been a downtime where I haven't been super, super busy. I thought I dealt with it, but the reality is I was just busy. And so I've been dealing with it. So I'm like, I know she'd be really proud. And I wish she would have been there to witness it. But yeah. So I want to say thank you guys for all the love and support and understanding that it took 30 days, maybe a little bit more, to get a sum up. It wasn't because I was being lazy and just kind of dealing with a lot of stuff. So yeah. Anyways, questions. If you have any questions, I don't know if this part will go to YouTube. Dude, did you see that little wink there from Marine Lord? That was great. It was a great event. And obviously I'd love for Red Bull to continue to do more events. We're really lucky to have Red Bull. And they just continue to set the bar even higher. So, T90, do you feel like this was the high mark of your AWCast career, or would you pick another point? Hard to say. Like, the venues is badass, but like we were in castles before. And events that I've hosted have been special. Dude, like, I can't even pick. And I think that just says how lucky I am. And how amazing the community is that I could say that. Like, I have so many moments that are special. I will tell you that, like, the personal feeling of standing next to Dave as we're about to go online, like, about to go in front of 3,500 people live, and just, like, put my arm around him and being like, we've come a long way. And it's funny, we both kind of said that simultaneously and mentioned the same game that we both covered in front of 5 people 10 plus years ago. Like, that stuff's that's special to me. So that was really cool. For Dave and I, and but yeah, to say it's the best one, it's kind of hard to answer because there's so many special moments. So Johnny English says, dude, I'm from London. Well, I hope you were there, man. Hope you were there, and if you were, hopefully you enjoyed it. Is there anyone you'd like to personally thank for helping you get to this event or up to this point in your life? Oh, man, that's a question. I mean, the community, man. I'm nothing without the community, right? I'm just a dude who wants to talk about a game that I'm addicted to and in love with, and I remember very well when this game had no community. The game was dead, and you couldn't watch anything, and I was like, why does no one like this game? I don't understand. And somehow, over the course of many years, we now have an awesome community. So these events don't get hosted without viewers and people who've come back to the game and who appreciate us, watch our channels, and support the game. So, obviously, I want to thank Microsoft. Shoot! I thank Microsoft, number one. Microsoft and World's Edge, number one, first and foremost. And then Red Bull. Damn, I'm so bad at this. But realistically, and don't tell them this, they wouldn't do this if it wasn't for you. So really, you guys are a little bit more important, right? Because it's a business. So, yeah, if there was no community, I wouldn't be thanking them. But I should have said that first, and I'm very sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, next question. We are better than Microsoft confirmed. I don't think I'm going to get in trouble for that. I think they understand what I mean, right? And like World's Edge and Microsoft, Red Bull, they contribute so much money to these events, you guys don't even know. Like, I don't know the specifics, but I'm guessing lots of zeros. Like, it's absolutely unbelievable. And they were not making that money back from tickets, I can tell you that much. Or from just the ads run on the streams or whatever. So, any other questions? Somebody said, chances we get an NA LAN at some point. I'd love that. I'd love to have a LAN in the States. We have so many viewers and players from the United States. We have more players in the United States and more viewers than any other country, which I think is an underrated stat. For a lot of people don't realize that, but that's true. It's more expensive. It hasn't been done before, which I think there's some hesitancy from hosts because it's like, if you've done it in Germany, for example, a bunch of times, you know who to call, what to do, and stuff like that. But I'd love to make it happen. I am always working on new things, would love to do something epic, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, maybe someday. It would be a dream of mine. We'll leave it at that. T90, who is your favorite rumor guy during Red Bull? Okay, well, that's not going to be in the... You, obviously. Any other questions, chat? Any other questions? If you were in charge of planning a LAN with access to the funding Red Bull provides, would you do anything different? I would do a pay raise to people who have mustaches, people who are bald, people who are German, people who are Spanish. Pay rises for all of those individuals. Big pay bumps. Also business class, also unlimited salmon. Beyond that, it just comes down to the creative vision for the event host, right? So like the people who put this stuff together, they clearly have a lot of ambitions and creative desires. So I couldn't change too much. Any big complaints I had about this event were all very minor things. Like me not getting photos in Royal Albert Hall. Kind of sucks personally, but there's still some. Me not having water and Red Bull during the event, had I not been able to cast because of it, would have been horrible. But I felt like we pulled through. So it's one of those things, if I work with the same team again, I'm going to be like, yo, can you not forget about us when we're in the Royal Albert Hall and bring us water? Thanks. And then that's over. So Elite Mage says ban AI banners and logos. From what I know, I don't think that it was AI banners and logos. I think they used the same person as they did in previous years for those. And I saw comments on the internet saying it was AI. And people were like, it was because the Viper one had the snake was connect. From what I know, it was a person. Now that makes me think, was that person just doing AI every other year and Red Bull didn't know? But from what I heard, not confirmed, it was a person. But this person might have been making good money and just using AI. So I don't know. But that's all the info I have for you there. But yeah, it's hard for me. I totally get it, but it is very hard for me to see everything that goes into an event like that. We're talking well over $1 million, right? How amazing and virtually flawless the majority of it goes. It is hard for me to really take complaints about a banner not looking perfect as seriously as maybe you guys. You understand that? It's like, holy crap, this is insane. 3 venues, smashing live viewership records, amazing stuff. It's like some of those small things probably I wouldn't get hung up on as much. Now, I appreciate when people have like the, in the grand scheme of things, it's very minor. Now, I think it's important that minor things are valued. Because if you let the minor things slip by, it can bleed into the major things. But I would just, I guess, think about it that way. At the end of the day, there were no big major complaints, in my opinion, for this event. So, how'd you feel about the fox noises? I hate those freaking foxes, dude. And production even, they thought it would be funny during a semifinal because Viper was getting smashed. They threw in fox noises when there was no foxes on the map. And then production came in my ears and was like, T90, what do you think about those fox noises? But Nilly and I actually didn't appreciate it because, like, we were trying to lock in. Like, group stage, we can mess around. Nilly and I were like, so I just ignored him. And I told him later, I was like, you know, there's a time and a place for those jokes, and I felt that was a little out of place at that time. I also take my reputation seriously. I don't want to joke too much at the wrong time. So that's always a tough balance. Coney says, why did the costumes give mainly AW3 vibes? Yeah, I saw people say that as well. Because AW3 is better than AW2. That's what that means, right? That's what Red Bull and Microsoft are saying. Must be. I don't think they thought about it that much. I just think they thought about good costumes. And then there was a couple people on the internet who were like, well, technically, the theming and the timing is all wrong. You know. They can never please anybody. I think the costumes were good. I actually think Dave and I's costumes were really good. I thought Nilly and Mem's costumes weren't as... Like, I felt like their costumes weren't quite as good, which I felt a little bad for. Like, if I had their costumes, I would have been a little annoyed. But they were all good, I think. So, any other questions? Any other thoughts? Did you think the orchestra was a bit too much? Nah. I thought it was sick. I thought it was freaking sick, dude. They had the London Orchestra playing the freaking... That was freaking sick. No way that's too much. No way. I mean, I think if the AW4 final doesn't go as long, people aren't as like, you know, TikTok, when are we going to start the finals as they were? I think they very much planned the AW4 final to be like quick and an intro, and then we get into all that stuff, and then you get into it. But I thought that was cool. So yeah. How was the London food? Great. The food was incredible. Some of the best food I've ever had. I didn't have any, like, you know, food from the region. It was like French and Italian and, you know, stuff like that. But food was amazing. I did have a proper English breakfast once or twice. That was the only, like, English food that I had. So, all the other food was good. London had a lot of options as far as, like, the restaurants and all that go. So, anyways, there are more questions. I think I want this to be a shortish video, so I'm going to say thank you to everyone for watching on YouTube. For those that enjoyed this, you know, just thanks. Thanks again for watching and supporting. This was probably a little more scuffed than I wanted it to be, but I just wanted to sit down and recap my thoughts on everything. And yeah, so hopefully now you understand a little bit more about what events take and kind of where our brain is at as casters and all that. To anyone I met, it was amazing to get to meet you. And I really appreciate the community, both the people that showed up and that watched live to make it all happen. So, but anyways, I'm going to answer a couple more questions that are probably going to get a little bit more trolly with Twitch chat, because I'm pressing stop recording now for YouTube. So YouTube, you have to show up the Twitch chat if you want to see the trolley questions at a later time. Thank you.